As you're thinking about this concept of autosuggestion and inducing a state of faith, it's important to be vigilant and to really understand that it requires us to every single day rededicate ourselves to a positive experience. That's not just true, by the way, for Think and Grow Rich. That's true to have a positive life. Every day we recommit ourselves to positivity. But one of the things that can get in our way sometimes when we think about autosuggestion is we'll look at our goal. And some people, especially in our culture, they want to achieve their goal all at once. And their goal may be large, so it can get a little bit frustrating because they'll look at it and think, how am I going to achieve all of this right away? And the answer is we don't have to achieve it all right away. We only have to do what is ours to do today. And when we do that and we do it well, we've done what we need to do. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, when I lived in Colorado, I was invited to go see Tibetan Rinpoche. And he was a famous Rinpoche, and he was doing a private talk at the home of these people in Boulder, Colorado. They had a beautiful home. And I was one of the people lucky enough to be invited. And we got to this home, and there was all these nice people, and everybody was dressed beautifully because it was kind of this mansion, and it was a really interesting scene of people. And in walks the Rinpoche, and all he owned was what he had on him, beautiful orange robe and a little bag that he had tied around his waist. That's all he owned in the world. And then he walked, and as he walked in, everybody got quiet because he walked in with this kind of vibration or this frequency of power and calmness and peacefulness that was just so magnetic and breathtaking. And he sat down at a certain place in the living room and invited us all to sit down, and so we did. There was probably about 50 of us, and we sat around him. And he led us into a meditation, so we did meditation for a while with him. And at the end, he gave a short Dharma talk. That's what it's called. Just means a little short lesson that teaches us something. And he was talking about what it means to live a happy life, the thoughts that we need to have to live a happy life so that we can experience joy, we can experience happiness, we can experience purpose and meaning in our lives. And as he was talking, a woman kind of on the side of him, a little to the side, seemed to get more and more agitated. And I was facing him so I could see this woman, and I noticed that the more he talked about happiness and joy and contentment and living a happy life, the more agitated she got. And finally, she couldn't contain herself. She just blurted out, I hear you saying this over and over again, how to have a happy life, how to be joyful, how to do this, how to do that. How do I have a happy life? How am I supposed to have a happy life? That's such a big thing, this happy life. How am I going to be happy? How do I get joy? And she just kind of vomited this whole kind of confusion and upsetness all over the whole room. And it was very interesting to watch his reaction because as she was very animated and very upset and agitated, he was calm and serene the whole time and just looked at her. And finally, when she stopped, he looked and he breathed. And there was a silence. And he goes, oh, those are very good questions. How to be happy, how to be joyful, how to get what you want in life. Big questions. Those are very big questions. Big questions. How to have this. Big questions. Big how. Big how to have all of these things. Big how. Answer is little how. And when he said that, the mood in the room shifted because what he had just taught us in that short little 2-word answer to the whole greatness of how do I achieve my goals, how do I achieve happiness, how do I achieve anything in life, his answer was 2 short words, little how. What he meant was We don't have to achieve the greatness, the hugeness all in one day. All we have to do is our little part in each day. And as we do, it builds and builds exponentially into a life of love, into a life of joy, into a life of meaning, and into a life where we achieve the thing that it is that we want. When you think of the goal that you've set in the statement of desire, that thing that you desire, think about every single day as being the little how that is leading to this great goal that you have. Every day becomes part of the journey. And as we know, the journey is just as important as reaching the goal. So make every day count. Make every day part of the little how, so that when you reach the big how, you'll look back and think that was an amazing experience.